Do you reach for frozen meals because they seem convenient and portion-controlled? But these foods contain something that attacks your heart, kidneys, and brain with every bite. I am talking about sodium levels so extreme that one frozen dinner can deliver 3 days' worth of salt, and that is just one of 5 hidden threats lurking in your freezer right now. I'm going to reveal 5 frozen foods you must remove from your freezer today, not next week, today. Then I will show you 5 frozen foods that can actually protect your health, foods that most people walk right past because they do not look exciting. But here is the twist. The healthiest frozen foods are hiding in plain sight. And the most dangerous ones? They are disguised as comfort, convenience, and even health food. One medical mistake keeps showing up in emergency rooms. Seniors eating what they think is 1 serving, but the package secretly counts it as 2 or 3. You are getting 2 to 3 times the sodium, fat, and calories you thought you were eating. Do you want to know which frozen foods are stealing years from your life, and which ones could help you stay independent and strong into your 80s and 90s? Then you need to watch this until the end, because I will tell you the most important thing in just a few minutes. Something about frozen vegetables that will change everything you thought you knew about nutrition. Let me start with the worst offender, and I promise you it is not what you expect. Number 5, ultra-processed breakfast items. Let me ask you something. What did you eat for breakfast this morning? If you reached for a toaster pastry, a frozen waffle, or a breakfast sandwich from the freezer, you just consumed what nutritionists call a chemical cocktail. Here is what is really happening inside your body right now. These breakfast items contain refined white flour that converts to sugar in your bloodstream faster than eating candy. Within 30 minutes of eating that toaster strudel or frozen pancake sandwich, your blood sugar spikes dramatically. Your pancreas scrambles to produce insulin. And if you are doing this every morning, you are teaching your body to stop responding to insulin properly. This is called insulin resistance. Think of it like your body's doorbell. Ring it too many times and eventually nobody answers anymore. But the sugar spike is just the beginning. A single frosted toaster pastry contains 10 grams of added sugar. That is nearly half of what the American Heart Association recommends for women in an entire day, and it is not regular sugar. Look at the ingredients. High fructose corn syrup, partially hydrogenated oils, BHT preservative, which some studies link to cancer risk. One frozen breakfast sandwich with sausage and a biscuit delivers over 900 milligrams of sodium. That is 40% of your daily limit before you have even brushed your teeth. The processed sausage contains sodium nitrite for preservation. And that biscuit, made with refined flour stripped of all fiber and nutrients. Your body needs fiber in the morning to stabilize blood sugar and keep you full. These breakfast items give you 0. Instead, they trigger what doctors call the blood sugar roller coaster. You spike high, then crash low by 10 a.m., feeling shaky, irritable, and starving again. So you reach for more processed food. The cycle continues. Here is what you should do instead. Keep plain frozen whole grain waffles in your freezer. Check the ingredient list. You should see whole wheat flour, eggs, and maybe 5 other recognizable ingredients. Top them with frozen unsweetened berries and a tablespoon of natural nut butter. Or try this. Keep a bag of frozen spinach and mushrooms. In 3 minutes, you can scramble real eggs with these vegetables. Add a slice of whole grain toast. You just created a breakfast with protein, fiber, and actual vitamins. The benefit? Your blood sugar stays stable. You feel full until lunch, and you are not flooding your 70-year-old kidneys with sodium and chemicals first thing in the morning. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who eat processed breakfast foods have higher inflammation markers and worse cognitive function compared to those who eat whole food breakfasts. Your brain needs steady glucose, not sugar spikes and crashes. But if you think breakfast foods were bad, wait until you hear about number 4, This one is in almost every freezer, and it is destroying your arteries right now. Number 4. Pre-fried appetizers and snacks. Frozen mozzarella sticks, pizza rolls, chicken nuggets, breaded mushrooms. These crispy frozen snacks seem harmless. Pop them in the oven and you have an easy side dish or snack, right? Wrong. Here is the medical reality. These foods are pre-fried before they are frozen. That means they have been sitting in industrial frying oil, often containing damaged fats that your body cannot process properly. Some still contain trans fats. Even small amounts of trans fats are like putting concrete in your arteries. The FDA tried to ban them, but they still sneak into foods through partially hydrogenated oils. Let me explain what happens when you eat these. Your body sees trans fats as foreign invaders. They trigger inflammation throughout your cardiovascular system. If you are over 60, you probably already have some arterial plaque. Trans fats accelerate that process. They lower your good cholesterol and raise your bad cholesterol. It is a double attack on your heart. One serving of frozen mozzarella sticks, usually 6 pieces, contains about 450 calories. But here is the trap. Who stops at 6? The serving size is intentionally small, so the numbers look better on the package. Eat 12 sticks, which is easy to do, and you just consumed 900 calories. That is half your daily caloric needs in one snack with almost zero nutrition. These snacks also pack a sodium punch. 6 mozzarella sticks contain around 700 milligrams of sodium. Those mini pizza rolls. Each little pocket contains processed cheese, mystery meat, and a refined flour shell. 20 pieces, which fits on one plate, delivers over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. And because they are small, your brain does not register fullness. You keep eating. Doctors warn that these frozen fried snacks contribute to metabolic syndrome in older adults. That is the cluster of conditions including high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and excess belly fat that dramatically increases your risk of heart disease and diabetes. What should you do? If you want something crispy and satisfying, buy plain frozen edamame. Roast it in the oven with a tiny bit of olive oil and sea salt. You get protein, fiber, and satisfaction. Or try frozen cauliflower florets. Toss them with olive oil and spices. Roast until crispy. They satisfy that crunch craving. Another option, keep frozen shrimp in your freezer. Shrimp are naturally low in fat, high in protein, and rich in selenium, which supports your thyroid function. You can bake them quickly with garlic and lemon. No breading needed. The benefit of making this switch: you protect your arteries, you avoid the inflammation cascade, and you actually nourish your body instead of just filling it. Research from the Cleveland Clinic shows that seniors who eliminate fried frozen snacks and replace them with whole food alternatives see measurable improvements in cholesterol levels within 8 weeks. But here is where it gets really interesting. Number 3 is something people buy specifically because they think it is healthy, and it is quietly causing more harm than almost anything else in the freezer aisle. Number 3, oversized combo frozen meals. You know these, the big trays that promise a complete dinner. Fried chicken with mashed potatoes, corn, and a brownie. Salisbury steak with mac and cheese and green beans. Turkey dinner with stuffing and gravy. They seem perfect. One tray, one meal, portion controlled. Except they are not portion controlled at all. They are portion manipulated. A typical large frozen dinner like this contains over 1,000 calories. Some reach 1,200. That is 2/3 of what many senior women need in an entire day. But calories are not even the main problem. Let me tell you what happens to your blood pressure when you eat one of these meals. A single oversized frozen dinner can contain 2,000 to 2,300 milligrams of sodium. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 1,500 milligrams for seniors with high blood pressure. Many of you should stay under 2,000, even if your pressure is normal. One dinner just blew through your entire daily allowance. Here is why this matters more after 60. Your kidneys have been filtering your blood for decades. They slow down naturally. When you dump this much sodium into your system, your kidneys cannot process it fast enough. The salt pulls water into your bloodstream. Your blood volume increases. Your heart has to pump harder. Your blood pressure spikes. This is not theoretical. This happens within hours of eating the meal. And it is not just one spike. If you are eating these meals regularly, your blood pressure stays elevated. You are forcing your heart to work overtime every single day. Think of your heart like a water pump that has been running for 60+ years. Now you are making it pump thicker, heavier fluid. How long before something breaks? These meals also combine the worst nutritional elements. The fried chicken is breaded and pre-fried, giving you damaged fats. The mashed potatoes are made from dehydrated flakes with added milk powder and preservatives. The gravy is thickened with cornstarch and loaded with salt. The brownie is pure refined flour and sugar. You are getting a simultaneous attack of bad fats, refined carbs, excess sodium, and added sugars. What does this do to your blood sugar? It creates chaos. The refined carbs hit your bloodstream fast. Your blood sugar surges. Then the fat slows down digestion, so you get a secondary surge later. Your pancreas is confused. Your insulin response gets delayed. Over time, this pattern contributes to type 2 diabetes. One study found that seniors who regularly consume these large frozen dinners have a 43% higher risk of developing diabetes compared to those who prepare simple, whole food meals. What should you do instead? Here is a simple formula. Keep plain frozen chicken breast in your freezer. Keep frozen broccoli. Keep frozen brown rice. When you want a quick dinner, thaw one chicken breast, bake it with herbs, heat the broccoli, warm the brown rice. 5 ingredients, 15 minutes. You just made a meal with 1/4 the sodium, real protein, actual fiber and vitamins your body can use. The benefit? Your blood pressure stays stable. Your blood sugar does not roller coaster. And you are not forcing your aging organs to process a chemical assault. But if you think combo meals were surprising, number 2 will shock you. This food is in 70% of senior freezers, and it is marketed as a comfort food, but it is anything but comforting to your heart. Number 2, frozen pot pies and comfort food. Chicken pot pie, turkey pot pie, beef pot pie. These round golden pastries feel like home cooking. They remind you of your mother's kitchen. But let me tell you what is really inside that aluminum tin. One frozen pot pie typically contains over 1,000 calories. Some reach 1,300. But remember, the package often lists this as 2 servings. Have you ever cut a pot pie in half and saved the other half for later? Nobody does. You eat the whole thing. That means you are getting double everything on the nutrition label. Here is the breakdown. That flaky crust is made with shortening or lard. It is saturated fat and often trans fats designed to stay solid at room temperature. One pot pie delivers over 60 grams of fat. The American Heart Association recommends seniors limit saturated fat to 13 grams per day. This pie gives you triple that in one meal. The filling looks creamy and comforting, but it is thickened with flour and loaded with cream sauce made from partially hydrogenated oils. The chicken or turkey inside is usually processed pieces, not real chunks of meat. And the sodium, one popular brand chicken pot pie contains over 1,800 milligrams. Another brand with bacon reaches 2,100 milligrams. Let me put this in perspective. If you eat one pot pie for dinner, you have already exceeded the maximum sodium intake for your entire day. Every bite after that meal for the rest of the day is pushing you into the danger zone. Your blood vessels are already stiff from decades of use. Excess sodium makes them stiffer. This raises your risk of stroke significantly. Research shows that seniors who consume high-sodium meals have a 30% higher stroke risk compared to those who keep sodium under 1,500 milligrams daily. But wait, there is another problem with pot pies. They contain almost no fiber. The vegetables inside are minimal, maybe a few peas and carrots swimming in gravy. You need 25 to 30 grams of fiber daily for healthy digestion and stable blood sugar. A pot pie gives you maybe 3 grams. Your digestive system after 60 needs fiber more than ever to prevent constipation, hemorrhoids, and diverticulitis. These pies move through your system slowly, making you feel bloated and sluggish. What should you do instead? Make your own simple version. Keep frozen mixed vegetables. Keep a package of phyllo dough, which is thin pastry with much less fat. Keep some plain frozen chicken breast. Here is the method. Dice cooked chicken. Mix with heated frozen vegetables. Add a small amount of low-sodium chicken broth to moisten. Season with herbs, not salt. Spoon into a baking dish. Top with a couple sheets of phyllo brushed lightly with olive oil. Bake until golden. You just made a pot pie style meal with 1/3 the sodium, 1/4 the saturated fat, and 4 times the vegetables. The benefit? You satisfy the craving for comfort food, but you are giving your body nutrients instead of clogging your arteries. You are protecting your heart and your brain. Studies show that reducing saturated fat intake in your 60s and 70s directly correlates with better cognitive function in your 80s. Now, I am going to reveal number 1. This is the worst frozen food in America, the one that combines every single nutritional assault we have talked about. And I will tell you the most important thing about frozen vegetables that most people completely miss. Number 1, frozen pizza in all its forms. I know, you love pizza. It is America's favorite food. But frozen pizza is a nutritional disaster, especially for anyone over 60. Let me break down exactly why. Start with the crust. It is made from refined white flour, no fiber, no nutrients. Just pure starch that converts to glucose in your bloodstream within minutes. It spikes your blood sugar fast. Then comes the sauce. You would think tomato sauce is healthy, but commercial pizza sauce is loaded with added sugar and salt to make it taste good on a cheap crust. Next, the cheese. Frozen pizzas use low-quality mozzarella that is high in saturated fat and sodium. Finally, the toppings: pepperoni, sausage, bacon. These are all processed meats. The World Health Organization classifies processed meats as Group 1 carcinogens. That means there is strong evidence they increase cancer risk, particularly colorectal cancer. Here are the numbers. Half of a standard frozen pizza contains 1,500 milligrams of sodium. That is your entire day's allowance. But who eats half a pizza and stops? Most people eat the whole thing. That is 3,000 milligrams of sodium in one meal. You just tripled your recommended daily intake. Your kidneys are drowning in salt. Your blood pressure will spike for the next 12 to 24 hours. Your heart is straining. If you have any existing heart disease, you are flirting with serious consequences. A frozen pizza also delivers enormous amounts of saturated fat. Whole pizza can contain 30 to 40 grams. Remember, you should limit saturated fat to 13 grams per day. You just consumed 3 days' worth in one sitting. This fat does not just disappear. It circulates in your bloodstream. It sticks to your arterial walls. It makes your blood thicker and harder to pump. And because pizza combines fat with refined carbs, you get a double metabolic hit. The carbs spike your insulin. The fat prevents proper insulin signaling. Over time, this combination is a direct path to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. But here is what really bothers me. Pizza gives you nothing beneficial. No fiber, minimal vegetables unless you add them, no omega-3 fats, no antioxidants, just calories, sodium, and saturated fat. It is empty energy that makes your body work harder while providing zero nourishment. Dietitians call frozen pizza an ultra-processed food. That means it has been so altered from its natural state that your body barely recognizes it as food. Studies show that seniors who regularly eat ultra-processed foods have higher rates of cognitive decline, cardiovascular disease, and all-cause mortality. What should you do? I'm not going to tell you to never eat pizza again, but make it better. Here is how. Buy a whole wheat pita or flatbread. Spread real tomato sauce with no added sugar. Add part skim mozzarella, just a small amount. Load it with frozen vegetables, peppers, mushrooms, spinach, broccoli. Add fresh garlic and oregano. Bake it. You just made a pizza that gives you fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants with 1/5 the sodium. Or try cauliflower crust pizzas. Some brands now make frozen cauliflower crusts with clean ingredients. Top them yourself. You control the sodium and fat, the benefit of avoiding traditional frozen pizza. Your blood pressure stabilizes, your blood sugar stops spiking, your cancer risk decreases, and you feel lighter and more energetic instead of bloated and sluggish. Now let me tell you about the 5 frozen foods you should eat daily. These are going to surprise you because they are simple, not exciting, but they are powerful. And the first one is something 90% of people walk right past in the grocery store. Number 1, healthy frozen food. Plain frozen vegetables, not the ones with cheese sauce, not the ones with butter. Plain frozen broccoli, spinach, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, green beans, peas, and mixed vegetables. Here is what most people do not understand. These vegetables are flash frozen within hours of being picked. This locks in their nutrients. Fresh vegetables at your grocery store have been sitting in trucks and on shelves for days or weeks. They are losing vitamins every single day. Studies show that frozen broccoli contains just as much vitamin C as fresh broccoli, sometimes more. Frozen spinach retains its folate, iron, and carotenoids. The freezing process does not destroy these nutrients. It preserves them. Why does this matter for seniors? As you age, your body absorbs nutrients less efficiently. You need more vitamins and minerals from your food, not less. Frozen vegetables give you concentrated nutrition with 0 preservatives and minimal sodium. A cup of frozen broccoli provides 4 grams of fiber, over 100% of your daily vitamin C and vitamin K for bone health. It also contains sulforaphane, a compound that research shows may help prevent cancer and support brain function. For seniors worried about memory loss, this matters. A study published in Neurology found that people who eat more vegetables, particularly green leafy vegetables, have slower rates of cognitive decline. Frozen spinach is rich in lutein and zeaxanthin. These protect your eyes from macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in older adults. Number 2, healthy frozen food, unsweetened frozen fruit. Frozen blueberries, strawberries, cherries, mango, and mixed berries with no added sugar, just the fruit. Here is why this is critical. Berries are packed with anthocyanins. These are powerful antioxidants that cross the blood-brain barrier. They protect your brain cells from oxidative damage. Research from Harvard shows that seniors who eat berries regularly have slower cognitive decline. Some studies suggest berries may delay brain aging by up to 2.5 years. Frozen berries give you the same benefits as fresh because they are frozen at peak ripeness. 1 cup of frozen blueberries provides 4 grams of fiber and only 80 calories. They also contain pterostilbene, a compound similar to resveratrol that may help lower blood pressure and cholesterol. Frozen cherries are rich in melatonin. Every morning, add a half cup of frozen berries to your oatmeal or yogurt. Blend them into a smoothie with spinach, banana, and a scoop of protein powder. You just created a meal that stabilizes blood sugar, provides antioxidants, and keeps you full for hours. The benefit? You protect your brain, you reduce inflammation, you satisfy sweet cravings naturally without added sugar. And frozen fruit never goes bad. You can keep it for months. Number 3, healthy frozen food. Frozen whole grains and legumes. Yes, some stores now sell pre-cooked frozen brown rice, quinoa, farro, and even lentils. These are game changers for seniors. Here is why. Whole grains provide complex carbohydrates that digest slowly. Unlike refined grains, they do not spike your blood sugar. Why does gut health matter after 60? Your gut microbiome influences everything: your immune system, your mood, your inflammation levels, even your brain health. The fiber from whole grains and legumes feeds beneficial bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids. These compounds reduce inflammation throughout your body. What should you do? Keep frozen brown rice or quinoa on hand. When you need a quick dinner base, heat it in 3 minutes. Top with frozen vegetables and lean protein. You just created a nutrient-dense meal in under 15 minutes. The benefit? You avoid refined carbs that spike blood sugar. You get fiber that lowers cholesterol. You support healthy gut bacteria. And your meals have substance and satisfaction without processed ingredients. Number 4, healthy frozen food. Frozen lean proteins, especially wild-caught fish. Frozen salmon, cod, halibut and shrimp are excellent choices. Here is what seniors need to know. Wild-caught salmon is frozen shortly after being caught. This preserves its omega-3 fatty acids. These fats are crucial for your heart and brain. Omega-3s reduce inflammation, lower triglycerides, and help prevent blood clots. Research shows that eating fatty fish twice a week reduces your risk of heart attack by 36%. It also supports brain function. Studies link regular fish consumption to lower rates of Alzheimer's disease. Frozen fish often costs less than fresh and last months. Frozen shrimp are naturally low in calories and high in protein. They provide selenium, which supports thyroid function and acts as an antioxidant. Plain frozen chicken breast is also valuable. It is lean protein without saturated fat. What should you do? Buy frozen salmon fillets. Thaw one in your refrigerator overnight. Bake it with lemon and dill. Serve with frozen vegetables and brown rice. You just created a meal that cardiologists recommend. The benefit? You protect your heart and brain with omega-3s. You get high-quality protein for muscle maintenance. As you age, maintaining muscle mass is critical for independence and fall prevention. Protein helps preserve that muscle. Number 5, healthy frozen food. Healthy frozen entrees with whole ingredients. Not all frozen meals are bad. Some brands focus on real food with minimal processing. Look for meals with short ingredient lists. Look for meals under 600 milligrams of sodium. Check the protein is at least 15 grams. Ensure there are multiple vegetables listed in the first few ingredients. These meals work as emergency backup when you are too tired to cook, but they should not be your daily food. Use them once or twice a week when needed. The benefit? You avoid the worst frozen foods while still having convenience options. You get a balanced meal without excessive sodium or preservatives. And you save energy for days when cooking feels impossible. Here is the bottom line. Your freezer can either accelerate your aging or help you stay strong and independent. The choice is yours. Remove the 5 worst offenders I described: ultra-processed breakfasts, pre-fried snacks, oversized combo meals, pot pies, and frozen pizza. Replace them with the 5 healthy options: plain vegetables, unsweetened fruit, whole grains, lean proteins, and carefully chosen clean ingredient meals. This simple change will lower your blood pressure, stabilize your blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and protect your brain. You have the power to add years to your life and life to your years, but only if you make better choices starting today. If this information helped you, please subscribe to our channel and leave a comment telling us your age. This helps us create content that is relevant to your specific needs. Remember, this is educational content, not a substitute for medical advice. If you have chronic conditions or take medications, discuss any dietary changes with your doctor. Your health is your wealth. Protect it.